What role did Europe's ideological divide play in NATO's formation? Imagine a Europe torn in half, with one side leaning towards democracy and free markets, and the other under communist rule backed by the Soviet Union. That's pretty much what the post-World War II world looked like. After the war, Western European countries, like France and West Germany, wanted to rebuild their economies and protect their democratic governments. They looked to the United States for support and saw the value in working together for mutual security. Meanwhile, Eastern European countries fell under Soviet influence, adopting communist governments and centrally planned economies. The Soviet Union wanted to keep control over these nations and spread its ideology. This divide was more than just politics. It was a clash of worldviews. The West believed in individual freedoms, free markets, and democratic elections. The East promoted socialist ideals, state control, and anti-imperialist rhetoric. This ideological split created a clear line in Europe, making the continent a battleground of ideas and military power. The United States and Western European nations saw the need to defend their way of life from Soviet expansion. They decided to form a military alliance called the North Atlantic Treaty Organization in 1949. The main goal was to protect each other from possible Soviet attacks. To join NATO, countries had to agree to democratic governance and market economies. This was a way to ensure that the alliance stayed true to its values. On the other side, the Soviet Union responded by creating the Warsaw Pact in 1955, which was a military alliance of Eastern European communist countries. This was their way of solidifying their control and promoting socialist solidarity. NATO and the Warsaw Pact became the two opposing forces in Europe, symbolizing the Cold War's ideological and military confrontation. The divide also played out culturally and politically. NATO promoted ideas of freedom, democracy, and individual rights through broadcasts like Radio Free Europe. The Soviet Union countered with propaganda through outlets like Pravda, emphasizing socialist unity and anti-imperialism. Within both alliances, disagreements sometimes arose over how to balance national interests and alliance commitments. For example, France withdrew from NATO's Integrated Military Command in 1966, showing how ideological differences could cause tension even within the Western Bloc. The physical symbol of this divide was the Berlin Wall, built in 1961. It separated East and West Berlin, representing the stark contrast between the two sides. As the Cold War progressed, the ideological battle intensified, but the fall of communist regimes in Eastern Europe at the end of the 1980s changed everything. Many former Warsaw Pact countries moved toward democracy and market economies, leading NATO to expand eastward. This expansion reflected how deeply the ideological divide influenced European security and politics, even after the Cold War ended. So, in the end, the ideological split between democracy and communism was the main reason NATO was created and shaped its purpose for decades.